I decided to shoot a batch of videos today here in my office, and I'm now on my 6th video.
How's bragging camp going?
Shooting that many videos in a row has got me thinking that this set, the one that you normally see, man, maybe it's getting a little bit boring. I've changed my shirt a couple times to make it seem like I'm shooting on different days, but I'm in this office. I've got a desk over here, a desk over there. I'm able to move around and shoot wherever I want. But how do I do it quickly? I'm going to show you today how you can use a small space like an apartment, an office, a home, and create multiple sets and move between those sets easily. Kind of like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hop over here. I'm going to turn my camera around, and here we are at set number 2. Flick my light on. And now I'm at a second set showing you this really cool Insta360 Flow product. Let me show you how I quickly change between these two sets using this amazing C-stand that you or anybody else could put together. So here's what I'm looking at. I am looking at this C-stand in front of me that has a few pieces of gear that I think are essential. Number one, let's start with that camera. That's the Sony ZV-E10. Super versatile, interchangeable lenses. The battery lasts quite a long time, which I'm using the battery right now because I want you to see me move around the office and shoot things. But I do have a continuous power supply that normally I would have plugged into that camera. Now, speaking of power, everything is coming into this little CBI power strip here and going right into the wall. What else is this powering? Well, as you can see, I have a external display. Now you can get an external display for less than $200 or even cheaper, but looking at this display on the Sony ZV-E10, if I'm sitting far away, really hard to see, but having this display here, much larger, it's a 15-inch display, so I'm really seeing everything clearly. Audio, obviously important. I have the Rode Video Mic Go 2. Now this is obviously something you can upgrade based on your preferences, but the Video Mic Go 2 is a USB-C mic that can be used on an iPhone, an iPad, a Mac, a PC, or it plugs right into any camera and works just fine. I love this microphone, and I want you to hear what it sounds like. As you can see, I'm currently using the DJI mic. Since I'm moving around, I wanted you to have consistent audio, but let's quickly hear how the Rode Video Mic Go 2 sounds, since that's what's on our C-stand. Now you're hearing the Rode Video Mic Go 2. So again, high quality sound right on this C-stand, very lightweight, no batteries required, plugs right in and works. So your video looks good and your audio sounds super, super crispy. Additionally, how is everything lit so well? You saw me turn the C-stand around and then all of a sudden, boom, this whole set just lit up. Well, I'm using a GVM light here. That it's a very diffused light that just fills the space of whatever it is pointed at. I absolutely love this light. And it's about $200. Wait for Black Friday, it's even cheaper than that. As you can see, it's totally illuminating not only everything behind me, but me or whatever you're filming, whatever subject you happen to put in front of this light. Now, like I said, I'm not just in one room here. There's other rooms in this office, other spaces, I should say. So let's see what it looks like to move between these spaces. So what I'm gonna quickly do is just unplug the power strip here. This camera is gonna keep going, but everything that's plugged into that power strip that's not battery powered will shut down. We'll get to our next location and it'll just boot right back up. So here we go. All right, so I unplugged the power strip. I grabbed the power cable and we are moving. So here we go, next location. So right outside of my office door is this little coffee table. And you see it's got a nice little light. It kind of looks like an interrogation space or something like that. I don't know if you'd call it an interrogation space, but I like it. So I sit here, plug everything in, and let's see when that display pops up if I like it. I don't hate this. Obviously, I would want to adjust the framing a little bit. I might actually want to pull it in.
Enhance.
And here I am. Now, maybe I'm using this to interview someone. I've got this light here that's providing a little bit of backlight. I've got my diffuse light in front of me here. Let's move to another location. Now, I know you can't see this, but I'm rolling this across the floor. I'm also picking it up if I need to. It's not too heavy to do that. And let's say I wanted to have like a conversation with a friend. This light is still filling the space. Let me show you what it would look like if I turned the light off. Very dark. See that? turn it back on. The only thing I will say, having that Rode video mic go to right underneath that light, the light is a bit noisy. You might need to compensate with some like noise cancellation or something like that in post. But again, I could have a conversation with a friend here or a few friends. One C-stand covering all of it. And then last but not least, I'm just gonna turn this a little bit, maybe like 45 degrees this way. And all of a sudden, I'm giving a presentation with this TV behind me showing graphics or whatever. For maybe I'm using this for a Zoom call. So here's the deal. This entire system, you know, the display, the lights, the camera, the microphone, all of that is fitting on this rolling C-stand. I've had this C-stand for years. It's never failed me. It is not the most heavy-duty C-stand, but it works great. And it's less, I believe it's less than $200. Again, everything linked down in the description. So if you're sitting there in a living room, in a garage even, that's not being used to store cars and junk, you could set up 3 or 4 different spaces like this in your office. If you're already there and you're shooting a bunch of different content, you could just simply take this C-stand, roll it to the different areas of the room, and then you've already got your light here, which is just so nice, even right above me. Really catching that forehead sweat too. You could take this setup anywhere you need to have that amazing looking Zoom call, to shoot that audition, that self-tape, or even to film content for your company or just for yourself. And if you really want to take things to the next level, here's something I put together a few months ago that I am really enjoying. The last room I want to show you is right here. And as you can see, what I've done is taken just this nice gray background, draped it down the wall. I should probably do a video about this whole system. And now you have an amazing talking head video. I'd probably want to get a taller chair or lower the camera a bit. Once again, take this, maybe take another light and shine it on the back. You know, I would want to do that. I'd want to put like a light back here that goes onto the gray, multiple color, whatever. It would just be really, really cool. I kind of like the dreary look of the gray in this talking head though. It's just different. And that's what this is about, variety. You don't have to go out and rent a studio space to have different sets to give your videos some flavor. All you need is this C-stand setup and move through the different corners of your house, your apartment, your office, whatever. And you're creating different sets for your videos. So let's just take a quicker look at this C-stand, because I know I've showed the gear on it, but just to show how this operates, I think is going to be helpful. So here it is inside of that studio that I was just in. Okay. Now, as you can see, it's got these rolling wheels, these casters that they can be locked. You see those locking switches here, and it's about almost 6 feet right now, but it's got 3 different sections. It's got 1, 2, 3, and I'm using a couple of different clamps. Number one, this is an iPad clamp here, costs about $60, and it wraps around this display perfectly, holding it in. And then I have out of my Sony ZV-E10 or whatever camera you're using. Maybe you don't have a fancy camera, you just have an iPhone. That's great. Put an iPhone here with this diffused light, it will look amazing. But out of the Sony ZV-E10, mini HDMI into here, I have a USB-C cable powering this display. And the camera is attached to this super clamp, this bar here, and this ball head. With the ball head, I can rotate the camera anywhere I want. And then up top here, again, I have the GVM light, and it's just attached right to the top. I thought about putting an arm so that the light can extend, but I actually don't need it. The light is bright enough, and it also has some settings on the back to change. I have it set to 4,300 Kelvin. A lot of times I do like it to be 56. Let's see if that looks any different here. Oh! I'm smart. This looks better. Hey! This is the whole setup. This right here. So maybe you find a cheaper version of that, this light, but it's about $200. C-stand, less than $200. Display, less than $200, about $150, $160, maybe $120. Cameras, obviously your biggest purchase, and you have a mobile studio that goes anywhere. So I'm on my 6th video for today. Like I said, this system is making it amazing for me. Lightweight, still heavy duty. Cost effective, totally interchangeable. If there's cheaper gear or other gear you like better, you just replace my choices with yours. All held together by this stand that can go anywhere. One cable comes off the C-stand, plugs into your wall, and you're good to go. I think that little shortcuts that aren't less quality, but truly save you time and energy, like an idea like this, I think they are just, man, they're worth more than gold. And speaking of great ideas, you should probably watch this video before you go, right there.